what's going on Facebook? It's your boy Average Fisherman. Check it out. I'm gonna make a quick little video. Not gonna make a real long video. I fished a little derby with a buddy of mine, Cody Ellis. Hey man, I appreciate you going out. I loved fishing with you, man. I had a blast. So big shout out to you, man. And we fished a little team trail thing, little Rusty's team trail Saturday, and man, I had a blast. I really did. And I'm gonna put a few of the fish catches that we had at the end of this video. So if you want to see the fish catches and you don't want to hear me talk about the who, what, when, where, why thing, fast forward to the end of the video and I'm gonna stick them there. I'm gonna have a heartbreaker video on there. It's happened to everybody. If you fished, you're gonna hear me say I lost a 10-pounder. I truly believe it was in the 8 to 9 pound range. It sucks. It's gonna happen, especially when you're fishing what we were fishing. So with that being said, if you like this video and you like this content, please smash like and hit follow on my page. And if you guys don't know, I said in my last video, I'm going to start posting my stuff on YouTube. I'll drop the link on the Facebook page. Man, click it and go over there to YouTube and just click like. Even if you don't want to watch the video again, just click like. Smash like. It helps. There's so many of you guys that are viewing the video and you don't hit like. I think one of my videos I had like 800 views and I only had like 130 likes. Smash like. It takes 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's dive into this. Guys, hay grass. It's all about hay grass. Hay grass, hay grass, hay grass. The state of Rayburn. The level's coming down. It does a couple things. Pulls the fish out from the trees that were way up there. They're setting up on the edges of hay grass. They're setting up where they need to be for the summertime pattern. If your offshore fish starting to get in the piles real well, they're setting up on those hard spots. They're setting up where they need to be. But traditionally, I am an offshore fisherman. And you're like, well, why'd you fish shallow in the tournament, Chad? Well, because your more consistent bite is coming shallow right now. It's just that it's one of those things when you tournament fish, and anybody that's tournament fish, if you got the right fish offshore, yeah, I will sit there and wait them out until they want to turn on, especially if you know you're going to catch over 20 pounds. But that's not like that right now. They may kick on and you'll slip up and catch one good one, but you're going to spend a lot of time waiting for them to get, waiting for it to bite. So my thing was right now, everybody knows anytime on this lake, this time of year, you get a good frog bite going and it's starting to pick up. And it is a blast, man. It's so refreshing to get just a nice, feeding window on Rayburn. You're going out there, you're catching them. No, you're not really struggling, because if you fished Rayburn in the last 3 weeks, it sucked. Okay, it's been tough. All right. We went out earlier in the week and did a little practice. I was throwing a black frog. I know guys been throwing white frogs. Fishing with Rick, check him out, man. Big shout out to Rick. He was saying that he was catching his fish on a white frog. I was catching mine on black all week. So different parts of the lake, different kind of wants and needs for the fish. With that being said, we decided that we were going to stick with the frog and we were going to cover water. And you have the potential to sleep up and get a big one. And you're also going to put a decent limit in the boat, okay? We were targeting main lake point hay grass, okay? Just like I did in the Father's Day tournament, guys. I really truly believe that, a lot of your better fish, when you're in those main lake points, they can go out to deep water, they can come up and they can feed. But I was also trying to target water that was deep enough that those fish could get under the hay grass and have some cover over their head, because your bigger fish are going to want some kind of cover. Yes, you got two types of fish. You got your shallow fish and deep fish, okay? Those shallow fish, I always feel like they want, a little more coverage over their head, a little bit of depth that helps them, feel secure. And it helps them get under cover, because you got to remember, bass don't have eyelids. They can't put shades on. They can't put a hat on when it's sunny. They like to get under there and get in the shade. It helps keep them cool, and it's an ambush point. I was targeting high percentage areas. And, a lot of guys just work their frog, just work. I was making a lot of pause to mine. You'll see a video that I'm going to specifically post, and you're going to see me pause. And you're going to see me, I know there should be a fish there. And I got a fish, okay? Those high percentage areas, what do they look like in the hay grass? Okay, you got your points that stick out. If you've got a straight line of hay grass and you got a little cut that comes in, okay, like a good cut, like almost a good U shape, but it's a little deeper in the center of it, right there. I like to call those little nooks in the hay grass. You got hay grass, and then there's just like a cut into the hay grass, like a nook. There'll be a little fish there. It could be it could be as small as a laptop, if you will. So those bass get in and they use those as ambush points. Okay. So we were going and we were targeting stuff that was really high percentage areas, but we were also doing something that yields the potential for big fish, but it also yields the potential for a lot of misses. I was really positioning the boat where I was keeping the frog the entire time on the thick of the mat. And guys, I can't tell you, it sucks, but this is part of frog fishing. I had a lot of fish come up in the 4 to 5 pound range because they showed themselves. Like they come out of the hay grass mat and they sharked it and just knocked the frog out of the way. It sucked. Had we had the handful of 4 and 5 pounders that truly just missed the frog, we would have had a just like outstanding sack of fish. You know, you're gonna see me miss a big fish in that, you know, like I said, 8 to 9 pound range. And there's 2 ways of fishing. You either fish clean and you execute properly, or you know, that's what you can control. When you hook up, you know, you get a good hook set and you're working the fish. That's stuff that's controllable. But what's out of your control is the way the fish blow up on it, you know, them getting, you know, kind of stuck down in the mat. I mean, you can control that to an extent, but you can't control how they're going to hit it. You know, something that I have a buddy of mine, he talked about, we were on the phone last night yakking about it. And I think he told me it was Chris Christie talked about frogs getting knocked off the map. And I want to pass this knowledge on because I never thought about this. Okay, so when you're fishing hay grass and it's really thick, and you got bigger fish that are in this area and they're coming up and they're hitting and they're just knocking it off the mat, or they're hitting and knocking it out of the way. Chris Christie put BBs in his frog. I was like, and it's actually Hank Harrison, big shout out to you for telling me that, dude. I thought about that and I was like, you know what? You're right. Like it helps keep the frog weighted down, you know? It's the same way as like flipping. You know, when you're trying to get through thick stuff, you want your worm to get down in there, so you put on a heavier weight and you flip it down in there. And I was like, man, I wish I kind of thought about that before, because we truly had an immense amount of fish come up, blow up on the frog, knock it out of the way, knock it in the air, and it sucked because you got to see them. And you know, like, man, that's a big fish. And it's not discouraging. It was encouraging because you know you're doing the right thing. You know you're doing the right color frog, the right area. You put all this time into it, and you're just like, it gets frustrating. But like I said, how do we really connected with everything that come up? Man, we would have had potentially, I'm going to say, like, you know, 21 pounds, 22 pounds. Like, we had some true big fish come up. And hey, guys, I'm not going to sit here and hide it. It's all hay grass right now, man. Throwing a white frog or a black frog, you can't, if you want to go catch some fish and you want to catch a bunch of 2-pounders and stuff too, go out there, put it on top of the mat and drag it, guys. With that being said, hey, Old 18, huge shout out to you guys. Man, I'm telling you right now that you're going to see in a few of these videos, I'm really pulling on this rod. Like, I've got braid on. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to say this once again, make sure you set your drag to where it does give some. I'm not talking about when you set the hook necessarily, but you don't want it cranked so tight when you get to, yank it on stuff and all that with your braid, you're going to break your pole. Okay. You still got to set your drag. I don't care what anybody says, set your drag. Okay. So Old 18, huge shout out to you guys, man. This rod is stout. I love it. It's flexible. On my frog rod, I'm throwing it on a 7-foot medium heavy. I've got, I think this is like 40-something, 30-something pound braid on here. And here's my frog right here. I'm actually throwing this on a Lose right here. This is a high-speed reel. It's like 711. I really like something a little higher. but hey, it's doing the job right now. This is the frog I was using right here. White frog. Look, I mean, you can see how much they were blown up. I mean, it just tore the tails up on this thing. I've got one dead in the boat, and when you got a frog dead in the boat, you know it was a good day, okay? The black one's on my boat. I didn't bring it in here, but it's just a black frog. It's got a little bit of gray speckles on it. I like the little breakup a little bit. To me, it makes it look a little realistic, but I'm not a huge believer in like the pink and all that stuff, because a lot of times to me when a fish is looking up, he's seen a silhouette of something, right? And he's deciding whether he wants to eat it. And to me, either it's, you know, they're going to see that white color or they're going to see that black color silhouette, okay? I think where the color comes into, like I throw a really bright green gabbit frog that's got like, you know, green legs on it. I think that can, you know, sometimes make a difference. But for the most part, white or black belly, I mean, that's what the fish are looking up. The sun's shining down, you know, they're seeing a silhouette of something. So I do believe in color a little bit on frogs on the top water for the frogs, but you know, not as much for like your more, I should say, more for your pencil baits, more for your walking baits. I believe in the color, but for the frogs, not as much. I mean, just white or black. But this rod, man, I gave it a workout. And if you guys need a rod and you're looking for a rod, you guys really need to get out there and look at Old 18's rods. If you use code MARLER, M-A-R-L-E-R, the letter C, it's going to get you 15% off at Old 18. And with, sorry about that, had a little camera trouble. But as I was saying, if you go to Old 18, if you use code MARLER, M-A-R-L-E-R, the letter C at the end, it's going to give you 15% off everything they got, guys. I encourage you guys to check these guys out, okay? They got the Suppressor series and they've got the Hollow Point series for bass fishing. You can't go wrong with either, okay? With that being said, guys, as always, God bless you and God bless the United States of America. Until next time, out. Big one, Cody. No, please stay on.
Come on.
I need. Oh my God. Oh,
No.
No, dude, it's a 10-pounder.
Shut up.
Big enough to eat it. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Yep. That's a good one. Stay down. Yeah, that's a caller, Cody. Yeah.